Howdy, Dad. It's Tuesday evening, a little bit sort of winding down towards the U.S. Thanksgiving weekend, long weekend, doing a little workout here. Decided I was going to try to fix this back panel, and so I've been fashioning sort of a repair piece that goes over there. And the way that I decided to do this was to take a strip, fashion a strip across here. I put a flange on the bottom, and then just use a shrinker to sort of shape that into that piece. Now I'm sort of faced with getting ready to actually do a cut, and do that cut right across here so that it just hugs that as closely as possible. It's at this flange, and there are rust holes that are, quite close to this flange. Sorry, I don't know how to shoot. Now there are rust holes behind here that are quite close to the top of this flange, so I need to make this cut relatively close here. And so I'm just trying to decide exactly how to best do that, so I can try to get as clean of a seam here as possible, so I don't have to spend too much time worrying about trying to get that butt weld fit just so. I may use just a body saw and go real slow and just try to get it that way. Anyways, it looks like I've got a reasonable fit now, and so once this has been welded in, then I'll be able to just do the same on this side, and then I'll have a piece all the way across that will be quite a long weld to make, but should be okay. And then once I'm here, then there's some compound curves, and it gets quite kind of complicated, but one piece at a time. So I'm going to do that one, and probably tomorrow see about trying to cut that and make the cut. Once the cut's made, then after that it's just a matter of fitting and then doing a bunch of welding. So anyways, there you go. That's the latest. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Morning, Dad. Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving, at least our Thanksgiving here. Been out here goofing around trying to get this patch panel fitted. I think I've got it pretty good now. So I've got that. I cut that out using just sort of a air saw. That seemed to go straight forward, and then I scored it with it behind, and then just trimmed it with a pair of snips and a little belt sander in action, and that went pretty well. So next thing for me to do is to spot weld that in and start getting that hammered together, but looks like that's going to be okay. Still always, of course, just still worried about planishing this seam up in here just because of access to the back, but I did find that the skinny end of that comma dolly down there will get back there, so I think I should be able to get a pretty smooth finish when it's all said and done. It's interesting when you're cutting across here, you cut, it's, seems decent resistance until you get to about here, and then all of a sudden it just goes zoop. So you can just, that metal certainly on the ends is very thin, and so of course this is the reason to be replacing that. So I think that's going to be okay. The fit looks okay, so hopefully the weld goes fine today, and we get to move on. It's not exactly the easiest place for me to TIG weld. I need to support my arms and such so I don't shake so much, but we'll see. We'll make this work. Take care. Bye. Howdy, Dad. Spent some time today working on this back section. I've got this sort of welded in. You can see that that's a pretty decent weld. I mean, we'll continue across here, so I didn't bother welding down this way. Things went a little south on this side. I really had a hard time kind of getting comfortable, so I blew through a few times, and that doesn't look too good, but I'll probably end up just cutting that and then making a piece that goes this way. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I hadn't done any TIG welding in this sort of awkward positioning, and it takes some getting used to, and I'm not used to it yet. So, but anyways, that worked out okay, and so tomorrow I'll just start working more this way or not, maybe not tomorrow, but later. I had to go out and get my turkey today. I'll have to fire up my big green egg and get the smoker. That'll be one of my chores for tomorrow, to go and smoke the turkey. And we'll go over to some friends and have a small celebration. Anyways, hope you're doing okay. And yeah, it seems like I spent a lot of time out here, but only made a little bit of progress. So that's how it goes. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye. Howdy, Dad. How are you doing? It's Friday morning, post-turkey. I've been spending a little bit of time out here starting these repairs of these rusted out corners. What I've been mostly working on actually is this passenger side. So we have basically the exact same repair that's needed on that side. So I've been sort of fitting this curve. I've got to put a flange on a piece, and then I've been curving, stretching it and expanding it to fit that profile. Actually, because of the flange and because of this end piece here, you can't actually get the whole piece to fit in there nicely. So what I found is you could actually just flip it over and go to the other side and at least be able to see how that profile looks. Just based on this, it looks like I probably need to do a little bit more expanding on the back side of the flange, get it a little bit steeper. But overall, this is not too bad at all for how that profile looks. And it's about the right place over here where this piece will start. So then I just need to finish that up a bit, and then I will come over here, measure that up, and then I just need to make a cut right here, and then make a fold to create at least the lower part of this flange that will be on this side. So it'll come across here, and then there's a mounting flange there for the fender. Once I get that sort of close, I'll pull the fender back out, and I'll make sure, and I'll bolt it up and just make sure that the profile looks okay, the gap looks okay, everything looks sort of appropriate for that. But so making a little bit of progress. My goal is to get rid of all this rusted. If you don't see through it, it's only because it's not quite there yet. This is all very thin in here, and there's a few pinholes in here, but all this has to go. There's some pit holes up here, further up that flange, and I'll have to decide how much of that I cut out and remove. But for now, I'm just going with trying to get this piece across here. And of course, the problem is that there's compound curves in every direction here. So this seems to be working okay, at least as my first attempt to get this patch going. I did a little pounding here to stretch this section in here. And over here, I probably could do the same, do a little pounding on the back side now to stretch this piece, which has to go across the top, at least over here. But in any case, my goal here was to just get the profile of this curve right, and it looks like I'm pretty close. I just need to do a little bit more expanding there. That will bring this end and this end out a little bit, which is okay because it looks a little deep. And then I'll want to turn it this way and do a shrinking to get it to go a little more flat. And so I think that will probably be just about what I need for the end flange. I cut it a little closer than I had intended, but in any case, that looks like that will do the trick. So anyways, just an update, and I'll probably finish this up tonight and send you a video on what I've been doing this week, and then the weekend starts tomorrow. How about that? All right, take care. Love you all. Bye.